that bond for whatever for is super important. And to me, it's always felt like, I guess maybe watching all the mob movies and stuff, the way people, when you're in the family, how you're taken care of, probably maybe for better or worse sometimes. Like it's always been important.
Yeah, it's important.
Like, fuck
I just
grandma,
think,
fuck with mama.
For sure. I guess number 5 is just a little bit too nuanced for me. There's not enough to make a real idea or opinion out of it. So let's go on to the next one.
Well, I guess there are people that are dumbasses at any point in history. Like, not all of your ancestors are geniuses. Toby the dog catcher was a moron. Well, it wasn't Toby the philosopher. That's not how he got remembered. So do what you will with it.
You must control your emotions.
I'll say unequivocally, like, having your emotions and respecting that you're having them is one thing. Letting them do the leading, I don't think serves anyone well.
The emotions are, I think my only thing is I used to be like, not full suppression of emotions, but I just didn't see any practicality in being emotional. But now I'm starting to think that your emotions are a contributor of your instinct, or your what's that word people use, like when you're analyzing something, a situation, and you have a feeling about it, your intuition. I think emotions influence your intuition quite a bit. So I've started to kind of pull back on my thoughts on the emotions being unpractical.
And I mean, I don't know. It probably hasn't come up for you much, but like I have a daughter. She's 9 years old, and crying bothers me. Like I don't know if it's just a parent, like inherently hearing crying makes me upset. Now, granted, I cry myself too. Like trust me, I cry every time that I watch Remember the Titans, without question.
Yeah, that's a given. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, he died.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how that works. But, when I talk to my daughter, it's like I try and teach her, like, it's okay to feel all that you want, address the feelings, but you have to get past the crying part, because the crying part is not dealing with what's making you cry in the first place, dealing with what's making you feel the way you're feeling in the first place. Address it and try and move on if you can. I mean, maybe that's because I'm a callous prick, but
pain is a prerequisite for growth.
I mean, you could probably answer this question for me. I bring up Milan Kundera and the unbearable lightness of being every time we talk.
Yeah. I think that pain is necessary, and while it's happening, it's very terrible. But when it's over, it's sometimes one of the greatest feelings to have. Once the pain is over and you've analyzed, why you went through the pain, how you can change to avoid that pain in the future, all those things. It's a great feeling after it's over, wouldn't you say?
Well, for all the people who aren't aware and have never heard me freak out about Milan Kundera, the whole point of the unbearable lightness of being is that any growth that we get as human beings happens because there was some type of adversity that we overcame in our life. That's something that forced us to change in some way. If your life is great and all happiness and smiles, you're never going to change, because why would you? There's no reason for it. So invariably, it's the hard stuff and the hurtful stuff that is going to make us who we become.
Next is there's always someone smarter than you.
I mean, I guess I have to think there might be. I'm not going to sign off and say this one's guaranteed, but
let's read the rest of it. There's always someone smarter. There's always someone more talented. There's always someone more blessed by the world.
Okay, well, yeah. In that case, I will acquiesce that. I mean, bottom line is, there. You know what? We'll go soul on this one. There is me tomorrow is probably better than I am today at some things, maybe worse. So, it's I guess that was my point. Like, well, there is going to be somebody that nobody is smarter than. We don't know who that guy is, but that guy exists. But if we're taking it from, there's always somebody better at anything that you do. Yeah, if you're the smartest guy in the world, maybe you're not the prettiest. And, I think understanding that we are who we are and we have the gifts that we have and focus on utilizing those gifts to help people, the happier you're going to be as a person.
I guess the use for this lesson is when you lose a match or you lose a, job opportunity or something. I guess I'm not sure how it's a lesson. Maybe it's for a person that is overconfident, possibly.
Well, how about this? This is the way that I personally frame it. So Lee, you and me, we go out in the town. You're going to do much better at picking up women than I am. just bottom line, that's going to happen. As long as you don't talk too much. Women don't like people who talk. That's why I struggle so much. It's not that I'm ugly or anything. I just talk too much. I kid. But the idea is I'm well aware that I'm not the world's most handsome man. That being said, I do have my skills and my charms. Put me behind a microphone with a guitar, and that equation changes very quickly. So it's understanding the value that you have and not feeling negatively about the fact that there are people that are going to have different values than you. And the mathematical equation for greatness isn't a static value and based on one thing. It's based on a whole host of different things. And you can still be a great person, even if you're mediocre at everything in the world. You're still better than someone who sucks at most things and is good at some others. However that balance happens out doesn't matter. It's what makes you unique. That is what's gonna, it's your thumbprint in the world. You are who you are. Be okay with it.
That and the thing you mentioned a moment ago, which was I'm going to be a little bit better tomorrow than I was today. I mean, that's a huge piece for sure. All right. Women are attracted to value.
Yes, I would go say people are attracted to value. Are you going to waste any of your time hanging out with someone who doesn't make your life better? Not if you're smart. If you know going out with that dude is going to end up in you getting drunk, getting in a fight with your girl, should you be hanging out to that guy?
You shouldn't, but many people do. That's the thing. That happens way more often than it should.
I'll take your word for that. Maybe that's why I didn't hang out with a lot of people growing up.
Yeah,
cheesy.
Yeah, but women are definitely attracted to value. I think there's some science out there that says women are going to go for the men that bring the most value, the most security to their lives, the best opportunity to reproduce, the best opportunity to progress in status, societal status, all those things.
And this will be a place that I guess I will struggle with. This is because I'm a lefty contrarian. The big thing is that you need to understand what that woman values. If a big dick and cash is what that person values, which is what women, I think, are in a lot of cases trained to value in our culture, then of course that's what she's going to be looking for. Now, I know that wasn't what my wife was looking for, when we got married. She'd been married once. She had, ideas of what she wanted, and it was basically just not her first husband. It was a place she was starting from. So the math on that changes. Yes, women are attracted to value, but you don't necessarily know what value means to somebody else.
Women recoil from neediness.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
We all know those women.
Take care.
Yes.
All they want is for you to need them. Please, I want to be your mother. I dated one of those girls, and she about ruined my life. I couldn't do anything. It was an emotional landmine doing anything with that woman. I couldn't say anything, couldn't do anything. I remember this is in college, and we went to see School of Rock back when it was in theaters. And speaking of me being a crier, when the little black girl comes out on the stage and she starts belting out the song and letting you know how awesome she is, getting over her stage fright and everything, I shed a tear. I'm like, oh my God, it's beautiful. Like she's living up to who she could be. And she walked out of the theater on me, this girl, because I never cried at anything she'd ever done for me. I was never so moved by anything she'd done. It was a stupid movie. And it's
Is that a form of narcissism? I mean,
I think so.
I think so too, because I know girls like that are just like they always go back to, oh, you never say that when I do this, or you never,
And for men out there where this can end up, and I had a long talk with my dad at some point, I ended up break up with that woman because basically she used the fact that, like, if you leave me, I'll kill myself to hold me hostage. And frankly, it worked for a lot longer than it should have. The bottom line is you can't let anybody hold you hostage like that. She's going to kill herself. She's going to kill herself. I'm sorry.
Oh, this next one's good.